red Solo cup. I filled you up. I'm not ready to party, but I'm sure y'all are. And there's a dedication to the great Toby Keith here, as I'm sure as hell know that the great Toby Keith right now is probably lifting his red Solo cup and filling it up and partying because Oklahoma just took down my team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Damn. And I ain't going to lie to y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all because that's the way I am. There are a few things in that game that pissed me off quite a bit. We'll go ahead and get the elephant. Alabama elephant, right? How ironic. Go ahead and get the elephant out of the room here real quick. That horrible call in the fourth quarter that basically stymied Alabama's momentum. If they could have mustered any momentum in that game to try to exact some kind of comeback, it was completely taken away from them by the horrible officiating once again. Even Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit and even the official in the booth that they have up there, I forget his name, said it was a horrible call. It should have never been called because it basically killed whatever momentum Alabama was trying to get. It was basically dead at that point. So, the officiating this year has been horrible everywhere, not just for Alabama and Oklahoma, but everywhere. And that's one of my little soapboxes I've been on all year. So don't say I'm in here crying and making up excuses. I'm not. I'm just saying the whole year, everybody from Alabama, Oklahoma, the Slippery Rock, the Texas Tech on up to Boston College, the officiating's been horrible, man. These people need to be held more accountable. They need to be fined, or they need to at least have to hold a press conference like players and coaches do to answer for what they done on the field. Y'all not agree with that? But yeah, thought y'all might like that little dedication to Toby Keith. I'm sure that he's smiling in heaven right about now, as his Oklahoma Sooners did probably pulled off probably one of the biggest victories of Brent Venables' short career here at Oklahoma. Outside of that, what was it, his first or second season that he beat Texas? It's right up there with the Texas win, I would say, for the Oklahoma people. What I didn't understand from Oklahoma people is why'd y'all charge the field? Did y'all tear the goalpost down? Because I didn't watch the end of it. Somebody told me y'all charged the field with 28 seconds left to go in the game. Usually blue bloods just don't do that kind of thing. So I was just confused as to why y'all charged the field, because Oklahoma's supposed to be used to winning big games, right? Just saying. I was just asking y'all a question. I'm not trying to piss you off, but yeah. I couldn't believe y'all charged the field for that game, man. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it was a well thought out game plan for Oklahoma. Brent Venables basically took the run away from Jalen Milroe, and Alabama continued to try to run the ball with Jalen Milroe the whole freaking game. It was just, they were hard headed. They did not want to try to pass the ball. When they did pass the ball, they were dropping passes left and right. Alabama just completely shit the bed. There's no other way around it. I mean, Kalen DeBoer seems like he has issues with preparing for teams that are not supposed to beat Alabama, teams that we're favored by double digits. Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. We were even favored to beat Tennessee on the road and lost. So every single game that Kalen DeBoer has been favored in, every single loss that he's incurred here at Alabama, he was the favorite, which is very troublesome. He had that problem at Washington as well. He made it to the national title game, but during that season, he had a couple of precarious games, one against, I think it was Arizona State, when they were like 3-7. So Kalen DeBoer says he understands what football is all about down here. He understands how rich the tradition is in the South in football. And that's all well and good, Kalen, but I don't really think you do understand. You and the Cancer Five, as I like to call them, Jalen Milroe and his little cohorts, Tyler Booker, Malachi Moore, Jalid Campbell, and Tim Smith, all of them. You can tell these guys, they don't prepare very well. They don't lead very well when it comes to playing teams that they're supposed to beat. But we have a donation to the program. Here we go. Johnny Fairlane's in the house, and he has made a $1.99 donation. 100%. They shouldn't have rushed the field. Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was sort of, I don't know. I guess I was a little, it surprised me because, I mean, I can see certain teams charging the field if they hadn't beat you in quite a while, like Big Orange right here. His vows are primed to make the college football playoff. Don't count your chickens, man. I've said this the whole time, even in the podcast that me and Jeremy, or the live stream me and Jeremy done a few days ago. I said, don't be surprised if Oklahoma wins one of these games and makes the bowl. I figured it'd be LSU. But, hey, you never can tell what you're going to get this year. This is probably the most wide open year I've ever seen. And we're going to have a bunch of teams with 3 losses. It already happened today. I said it today. I said it yesterday. Don't be surprised if some of these 2-loss teams become 3-loss teams. And it happened over and over again today. First, it started with Florida beating Ole Miss, right? Who else was it? Oh, Auburn beat Texas A&M today. Give A&M a 3rd loss. Florida, like I said, Florida beat Ole Miss. Oklahoma beat Alabama. Give them a 3rd loss. Kansas saved my day. Made my damn day. Give Kansas. Oh, yes, they did. Because even though my team didn't win, and if we were going to lose, I'm glad we lost Oklahoma. And ironically, I've had that Boomer Sooner thing on top of my Alabama bet all year. Maybe I brought myself bad karma by putting Oklahoma on top all year. What do y'all think? But, yeah, this is for con time Deion Sanders. He'll probably have his bullshit glasses on at the next press conference so people can't see the bullshit in his little mealy mouth, beady eyes. So, congratulations, con time. Once again, you won't be winning any kind of championships. You still haven't won any championships. Even at the HBCU level, con time continues to shit the bed. You said, well, wait a minute now. Alabama's lost 3 games just like con time. But Alabama's won national championships, see? Con time, once again, has shit the bed. Charles Van says he believes that Charles Van says, I believe that Oklahoma ain't rushed the field since 2000. We got a lot of people up in here right now. We got about 74 people in here, so I can't get to all your comments. I can see there's a bunch of comments coming in here. If you want me to read your comment out, there's a little money dollar sign at the bottom. Click on that, type your comment out, make a little donation to the program, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want to make. To the program, write your comment out, and then click send, and it'll push to the top, and I'll answer your question above everybody else's. But yeah, I believe that Oklahoma ain't rushed the field since 2000. I didn't even know Oklahoma ever rushed the field, to be quite honest with you. Now, of course, there's going to be some fans that get onto the field regardless of what team you're at. Did y'all tear the goalpost down? Just curious. I didn't watch it. Y'all could tell me. I didn't really watch the end of it. So did Oklahoma tear the goalpost down? Just curious. And as Augusta Palmer says, damn, over here is trying to tear shit up. Y'all done got me all unhinged over here, spanking my team's ass like that. It doesn't matter. As an OU fan, we expect to beat teams at home no matter who they are. Rush the field because we made a bowl. It's pathetic. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to piss the Oklahoma people off too much about it because they'll think I'm being a sore loser about it, which I'm not. I'm actually happy for Oklahoma. Now, like I said, I was a little pissed off about that whole guy was covered up bullshit. Everybody in the booth, like I said, called it bullshit, and it probably was bullshit. But regardless, Alabama might, would have made it 24-10. So it absolutely affected the outcome of the game because it changed the score. But regardless, we don't know if Alabama makes that touchdown, whether Alabama is able to make 2 more touchdowns. We'll never know because, once again, the referees took it upon themselves to make sure they changed the course of the game. But regardless, it was a big, big, huge win for Brent Venables in Oklahoma. They've been you got to feel good for Oklahoma. We got a donation to the program. You got to feel good for Oklahoma because this is something they probably really needed rather badly, especially Brent Venables. I've been aching for the man. His wife had cancer, got rid of it. It came back, and now they had to go in and remove another tumor. I'm not sure how Julie Venables is doing, but if y'all don't mind, drop it in the comment section if you have any info on Julie Venables. But you got to feel really good for Brent Venables and his family because it's been a hell of a year for him. And while I would love to have seen Alabama win this game, a little part of me is happy that Brent Venables and his family were brought some joy tonight by my team, Alabama. Roll Tide and Boomer Sooner, right? All right. And the $50 donation coming in from Tatted Sailor. Big time donation, brother. Appreciate the hell out of that. We had our chat earlier, and I'm still researching. I agree, still should have been a no call. That was a different Oklahoma team that showed up today that was smash-mouth Oklahoma football on both sides of the ball. Well, if you watch the live stream that I done with Jeremy, I actually brought up to him, I thought that maybe instead of Oklahoma completely worrying about stopping Jalen Milroe, why wouldn't Oklahoma do exactly what Alabama does to other teams? Get their quarterback and do the run. I wasn't really thinking about Jackson Arnold as much as I was the other guy, Michael Hawkins. But what they did was basically take a page out of Vanderbilt's book. Run the quarterback, get us set out there on the edges, take us on the edges, run the quarterback up the middle, do some of them little shovel passes. Vanderbilt done quite a few of those shovel passes that Alabama couldn't deal with and beat us. Oklahoma should have had more points, to be quite honest with you, because early in the game, y'all got down there deep, fumbled the ball, and I bet y'all were all thinking, shit, here we go again, fumbling the ball away. And then Alabama went up by a field goal because of that fumble. But Alabama started throwing the picks. Jalen Milroe threw 2 picks that led directly to points for Oklahoma. So everybody out there that's giving all the kudos to the offense, I think you need to pump the brakes a little bit. Your defense actually put your offense in very good positions tonight, so the offense was able to just run the ball and not take any high-risk pass plays because the Oklahoma defense had Alabama's offense in check so much that the offense didn't really have to do as much. The Oklahoma defense give their offense about 14 points tonight. And see what we got here. All right. Afro Dragon Gaming FTW's in the house and just gifted 5 Outlaw of Common Folk memberships. Appreciate the hell out of that, brother. See what we got a lot of comments coming in here. I can't get everybody's comments, so if you want to click on, like I said, the little money dollar sign at the bottom, make a small donation, whatever it is, it'd be very helpful to me. It maybe soothe my poor old soul a little bit. Don't you feel sorry for me? Don't y'all feel a little sorry for me? All right, 1989 M's in the house. Big win today for Michigan. I know it was just Northwestern, but the offense looked pretty good today for a change. 50-6 was the final score for those Michigan Wolverines, who are still technically your defending national champions until the end of this season. Michigan is still your national champions. So Michigan got bowl eligible today, 6-5. Congratulations, 1989M. Fred Bagley's in the house. He says, Milroe looked confused by our defense. Milroe just continually tried to run that ball. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand why we thought we could just continue to do that. I mean, once Oklahoma has showed you they're not giving you that, stop. I think Milroe had one long run all night. Meanwhile, when he would do the read and give it to the running back, we was actually moving the ball. And then he's going to do the offense coordinator, Nick Sheridan, needs to have his ass beat. Because during the game, man, they're just doing these crazy plays, running these players back and forth on the field, taking up bukus of time when they're already down, by the way. They kept doing it even when they were down. Kirk Herbstreit made mention of it. And it just was a shitty game plan, man. I don't think Kalen DeBoer really understands. I think he's read books and he's heard how it's supposed to be down here in the South with football. But until you get down here in it and you start coaching every week in these atmospheres in the South, in the Southwest, with Texas and Oklahoma and Texas A&M in the Southeast, it's the South, regardless. And football is a little different down here. And I think Kalen DeBoer is starting to see that now. It wouldn't surprise me if Kalen don't last more than 3 or 4 years at Alabama if the Alabama fan base starts really riding his ass pretty hard. And, you know, there are already rumors out there about his daughter. So, yeah, it would not surprise me if Kalen DeBoer maybe got an opportunity in the NFL. He looks more like an NFL coach, but we'll see. Appalachia Africa Twins in the house with a $5 donation. Smash the like button, peeps. Just getting home from motor camping in the snow. Give me the 411 on today's game. Love the show, brother. Appreciate the hell out of you, brother. He's got a good channel, by the way. If y'all like the outdoors and just the grand scenery of this fine country called the United States of America, and it is a great country now because we all know what happened right there. See that? I think I got a couple of unsubscribers for putting that hat on the wall, by the way. I'm not allowed to have an opinion about anything other than sports with some of these people. You know what I'm saying? All right. See what we got here. Anybody want to be up in here? I don't have my spiel. Tubby 1085 says, just so happy as an OU fan, the fans rush the field because it means so much to beat Alabama. That's true. I understand that. But I thought Oklahoma was at the point where that kind of stuff didn't register with them like that. Because Oklahoma, to me, in my opinion, is still a blue blood. To me, people that are not really blue bloods and not used to winning charge the field and tear their own shit up. Like Tennessee and Vanderbilt, you know, they tear their own shit up, throw the damn goalpost in the river. Psh, there it goes. Here's another $250,000 fine on top of that for university when you do that shit. So I just think it's rather stupid for fans to tear up their own shit, man. It's like the LA riots when they had that stupid verdict down there and tore up the city of LA, tore up their own neighborhoods. Killer Breeze, what do you think about us getting the Skittle shitters in a bowl game? Says Tatted Sailor. That's a possibility. I would love that shit, says Tatted Sailor. See what we got here. So what do y'all think? Y'all think that this victory by Oklahoma over Alabama may set the tone next year for bigger and better things for Brent Venables and company? I think it may have saved their recruiting class somewhat. The recruiting class was getting on shaky ground, but this big win over Alabama may set the course right for Oklahoma, and then they can come down here to Tuscaloosa next year, and we can upset your ass. See how you like it. How about that shit? But another thing I'd like to point out and sort of grill upon while we're in here on my team, Jalen Milroe, he does not look like a leader. You can see it in his eyes. Yeah. Oh, what about that Hail Mary against Auburn? Yeah, that was a lucky-ass play. We backed into the playoffs. I've been saying this the whole time. We backed into the playoffs last year. We got lucky. This shit's been coming. Saban knew it was coming. That's why he got out. Just saying. Milroe, he's not a leader, man. Him and his little entourage called the Cancer Five, who said if Milroe gets benched, we will lay down. Well, you know what? You should just let them lay down because they done laid down in 3 games this year and basically screwed the pooch, and we're not going to playoffs. If we get in the playoffs for some reason, I hope we lose, man, because I don't think we deserve to be in the playoffs at this point. Now, with that being said, I take that back. So many teams are losing. You got so many teams with 3 losses now. That someone with 3 losses might actually get in. South Carolina's got 3 losses. And A&M, like I said, caught them a loss. So they got to put somebody in the playoffs. Alabama may luck out in the fact that next week Tennessee gets Vanderbilt. We know Vanderbilt can beat teams. They beat Alabama. They beat Kentucky. They beat who else was that the Vanderbilt beat? They beat Auburn. And Vanderbilt's not your daddy's Vanderbilt anymore. So don't be surprised if Vanderbilt upsets Tennessee. Now, I called the Minnesota upset over Penn State. And I missed that by 1 point. Almost got that right. But, yeah, the Jalen Milroe and his little entourage, let me go ahead and finish that up. They're all about the NIL, man. They're all about the link. We're the link. Let all naysayers know. Well, your little link has let all naysayers know that y'all are not team players, man. And it always percolates back up every single time in one of these games that you take too lightly. Why in the hell would anyone take Oklahoma lightly? It's just so stupid, man. Big Alabama says Milroe isn't a quarterback. He's pretending to be something he's not. The fact that Kalen DeBoer didn't bench Milroe shows how weak he is as a coach. Even if Ty Simpson is good, he deserved a chance. Exactly. That's what I was telling my friend. Like now, if they bring Ty Simpson in, we're down 24-3. They're putting Ty Simpson in a bad situation. And if it gets worse, or we end up losing, people are going to say, "See, we gave Ty Simpson a chance." No, you didn't give Ty Simpson a chance. You should have given Ty Simpson a chance probably after halftime. Sort of like Nick Saban did with Tua Tagovailoa when he benched Jalen Hurts at halftime when they were down 13-0 to Georgia, and Tua ended up bringing Alabama back to beat Georgia. Sometimes you have to make those hard calls. If those guys are going to lay down, well, then bench their ass too. Next man up, right? Oklahoma's learned that the hard way. You don't see Oklahoma crying and bitching and whining about next man up. They've been next man up all year. The crazy amount of injuries that Oklahoma's had to deal with, just saying. Got 112 people in the house. Tony Yates says, yes, it will help recruiting or beat Bama at their home. It's not going to happen, man. And I told you this year I was really skeptical about playing them. Said it numerous times, even after y'all started losing games. And just 2 days ago, I told Jeremy Smith in front of God and everybody, like, man, everybody's counting Oklahoma out. This is not the way you do things, man. Teams like Alabama and Oklahoma, other numerous blue bloods, when their backs are against the wall, they come out and they usually pull a big upset. Hell, even Auburn done it today. Florida done it. Florida used to be somewhat of a blue blood. They won a bunch of national championships under Spurrier and Urban Meyer. And everybody thought Florida was down and out. What did they do? They beat Ole Miss today. So I'm just saying. All right. So let me invite y'all a few people up in here. See if we can get somebody up in here. All right. Well, I can't get it to do. I'm trying to invite some people up in here. Let me try one more time for y'all. All right. There we go. All right. I'm here to invite. Keep the chatting okay no matter who comes in. Keep the chat in okay X no matter who comes in. What are you talking about? All right. We got 106 people in here. How in the world did Arkansas lose to Oklahoma State? I have no idea. That's a good one. Sent you a link, Killer Breeze, a few other people. Killer Breeze. Killer Breeze. Keep the chat. I already seen that one. Charles Van said only 10 people has hit the like button. Slap that thing. Please do. Like Charles Van said, if you don't mind, jump out of the chat real quick, hit the like button. I'm taking my grilling tonight. Alabama. I wasn't going to get on here at first. I didn't want to piss nobody off, man. I really didn't want to piss people off tonight because I ain't going to lie, I was a little aggravated about that damn call, man, because I felt like it basically stymied whatever chance Alabama had of coming back. But the officiating's been doing that shit all year. There needs to be some kind of penalties for these officials, or they need to make them full-time, give them benefits or something so they're motivated to do the right thing. That's the same officiating crew, by the way, that went in and reversed a call in the Texas-Georgia game, a call that you're not supposed to be able to reverse. They reversed it for Texas because the Texas people started throwing shit on the field. That kind of deal. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to bring Next Halen, a.k.a. Johnny Johns, and his brother up in here. What's going on, brothers?
What's up, man?
Congratulations on fucking our season up.
I'm telling you, dude. I would have rather seen this.
You set me up.
I'm telling you, I'm like, out of all teams, it has to be Outlaws team. We couldn't beat Ole Miss and Missouri and then lose to Bama.
That was illegal, I guess.
One thing I will say, Derek, he comes up with these crazy outtakes all the time. Like,
I have some weird hot takes.
All the time. And they don't make any sense. Like, he said Baker Mayfield was going to go number one. I told him he was nuts. I said, Derek, Derek, what are you smoking, bro? Oklahoma has some really good weed. And then he come up with this crazy deal where he said, I think Oklahoma's going to beat Alabama. And I said, dude, you're no longer smoking good weed. You're smoking good meth. And then he comes up with these crazy hot takes, and somehow they do come true every time.
My only reasoning is because it doesn't make any sense. Because there's been so many of these games this season.
It's been that way all year. All right, check this out. Alabama beat Georgia and LSU, and we lost to Vanderbilt and lost to Oklahoma when they were 5-5. Now, losing to Oklahoma wouldn't have surprised me at the beginning of the year. But because they were 5-5 and because they've been having so much trouble and were just decimated by injuries, I'm just saying. Kalen DeBoer, he cannot coach these kind of games for some reason. I don't know what the deal is, man. He done it at Washington too.
I'm telling you, he does really good. Like, he'll beat Georgia, and if he gets in the playoff with 3 losses, he'll probably win a playoff game. He may win a couple, but it's just crazy, dude. He's won some really big games in his coaching career, and then he loses to Vanderbilt, loses to Oklahoma, and even in the beginning of that game, we fumbled. And I'm like, dude, this is the typical Oklahoma offense that we have seen the entire year.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
They dropped a pass on the little trick play where the tight end Sharp drops the pass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I was like, dude, you just can't make this up, man. This offense is just really good at shooting themselves in the foot.
At the beginning of the game, y'all were driving on us, and I was like, damn, man, they're doing the same shit Vanderbilt doing, just keeping us off the field, eating up time, and then y'all fumbled the ball. And I'm like, damn. I sort of felt bad about that shit at first. Now I don't feel so bad about it. Because y'all stuck it to my team. Y'all basically fucked us out of the playoffs tonight. So
maybe.
I don't think so, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we're out. Yeah.
I did just remember something though. I remember earlier in the season, people saying that this Alabama team is kind of like Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley always had those 1 or 2 games that he lost that he shouldn't have lost. And I wonder if that's still like a thing that's going on, like people thinking it's like the same thing with Alabama.
Kalen DeBoer. I mean, he was damn good last year, only lost 1.
I forgot to give an introduction to the roughneck in the house.
Killer Breeze!
The Oklahoma roughneck, half coon ass, Killer Breeze in the house. What's going on, Killer Breeze? Tell us what you're thinking.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Give us your thoughts, brother. Give us your thoughts.
Well, I think that Brent Venables just, if there was any doubt whether he was leaving or not, that has flown right out of the window. His defense just put up their best game of the year from start to finish. Man, you know, I don't care whether this is as good a Bama team or not. They're still a good team, and our defense played a lot better against their line than I thought they would. So
Jalen Milroe's not a leader, man. Sorry.
No, that helped. We got the version of Jalen Milroe that is not the best version. We got the version that we did not get the version that played against Georgia.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but I think that's partly due to the fact that they were able to get in his in his space fairly early on, and he just didn't respond well to it, which was surprising because just last week they came out and just from the word go stomped on LSU.
Right.
And
because it's a big game.
Weren't able to do it.
It's a big game. We get up for the big games. It's the game we're supposed to win that we don't get up for.
I'll say this. That certainly has to be a good if you are, I don't know whether Oklahoma, I tend to think they've already got their offensive coordinator locked up and they're just not announcing it yet.
I heard it was Arbuckle. I saw an article. Yeah, they're going to hire this guy. I think it's Arbuckle from Washington State.
Yep, I do too. And I think that's why that quarterback Sperry decommitted from Oklahoma.
God, I hope that's not who it is, man. God dang.
I want to keep Joe John Finley somewhere because I think he has done an impressive job for just a couple of weeks trying to fix this mess.
So me and him have a disagreement on that. He wants us to keep Joe John Finley.
Somewhere.
I do not. I say, hey, that's great. He did really good in one game. We had no passing game. It reminded me a lot of Michigan playing USC a few weeks ago, where Michigan couldn't throw the ball. They had hardly a forward pass at all. But they played the hard side.
Oklahoma is not getting enough credit in this game. The defense usually gets a lot of credit, but they're not getting enough credit in this game. Y'all.
Oh no, they played great.
Jalen Milroe over twice. Y'all made a pick six. Right. So the offense did what it needed to do. It only had one turnover, and they did what they needed to do, and they kept the Alabama offense off the field and just was all in disarray.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be disappointed if it's Arbuckle, but maybe I'm wrong. But regardless, it sets up pretty well for an offensive coordinator to come in, and if we can just get healthy and they can somehow save some of this recruiting class, they could turn around, they could make some good strides in just a year. So it'd be nice to see. So do people think that's pretty much a done deal? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I saw it on some kind of, I think it was an Oklahoma website, Crimson something. I actually, I took a screenshot. I'll bring it up for you right now and show y'all. Y'all go ahead and.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it.
By the way, how did y'all like my Toby Keith dedication at the beginning of the show with the red solo cup? Did you see that?
I definitely dig it, man.
Let's have a party.
So Arbuckle, man, I think it is Arbuckle for sure. And I know here's something I want to ask Killer Breeze. If it wasn't Arbuckle, and I agree with you, dude. I said like a few weeks ago, I said, dude, I do not want a guy. I want a guy who has proven that they can have a good offense either in the Big Ten or the SEC. I don't want a guy who's tearing it up in at Washington State or in the Big 12 or in the ACC or the MAC or whatever. I want a guy who has proven that they can have a good offense in the SEC or the Big Ten. So getting this guy here, at Washington State. Yeah, I'm not super excited about it, but I mean, I have been, looking at his stats and stuff. They got that quarterback. I think that's why what's his name decommitted because I think Sperry, because I think he's bringing in his guy that's at Washington State now, plus whatever recruits that he's bringing in. I checked that guy out today too. But I got to ask you, what guy would you have liked to have seen? Like, if that's not the guy, who would you like to see us hire?
Well, I think I would have been interested in Joe Craddock. That's who I would have been interested in. There's a connection there with Clemson, and but he also, the quarterback probably comes with him too,
right?
And I would imagine we're losing one of the two between Jackson Arnold and Hawkins, but maybe not. Maybe now with Sperry not coming in, who knows? Maybe they stay. I mean, it's not like Hawkins was really expected to play this year or next year anyway. So the fact that he got a little bit of a taste of starting, maybe that changes it a little bit, but. And with regard to Joe John Finley, my biggest problem with Joe John Finley is our tight end room sucks, and he's the tight end coach. He's responsible for that room. I mean, other than Devon Mitchell, we are devoid of top-tier talent, and I don't understand. I mean, we've had unbelievable tight ends at Oklahoma over the years. What the hell is going on?
Right.
Here's that article I was telling you about, Killer Breeze. It's from the Crimson Captain.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Sooners reportedly set to hire Ben Arbuckle's offensive coordinator. According to multiple sources, Oklahoma Sooners will reportedly have a deal in place with Ben to hire him as their offensive coordinator no later than December the 2nd.
Man, I was hoping we were going to hire Nick Saban.
Nick Saban don't know offense. He's a defense guy.
Right.
He'll figure it out. He's the GOAT.
I mean, at the end of the day, I want somebody that is, obviously they're going to bring in their staff, but we need somebody that can develop quarterbacks again.
Right.
I mean, we've got a real problem with that right now as well. I hear good things about Kevin Johns, but I don't think he's staying around. So we need somebody that's going to develop quarterbacks again. And maybe I don't know a lot about Arbuckle. I'm reading a few things about him right now. Seems like wasn't that long ago he was working in the oil and gas industry. So
did y'all tear the goalpost down tonight?
No,
they did. They did it too early. They pre-ejaculated on it. I said that.
I wasn't trying to poke or troll or anything or be a spoiled sport, but I was under the impression that Oklahoma was a blue blood and they didn't do shit like that.
You damn right. Yep, you damn right.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
I haven't seen us do that since 2000 against Nebraska.
Yeah, I rushed the field in 2000. I was on the field when that happened.
He was there. Now, and with that one, we had sucked for a little while, and then we finally won this big game in Norman. And I guess this year we have sucked. So I guess, and it is Bama. And it just goes to show, Outlaw. You're Alabama Crimson Tide. It just goes to show what you guys have been the last 15 years.
We're 3 for 3 and probably 6 for 6. The last 6 losses we've had, each team's tore down their goalpost.
Right. Exactly. Every win against Alabama is a big win.
Alabama means is if you
I wish they wouldn't have rushed the field, honestly, because I mean, it's a good win. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. I guess making us bowl eligible is kind of important right now, but when we beat Nebraska in 2000 and rushed the field, that was when we took over number 1 officially.
Right.
Number 1 in the country.
Y'all need to beat LSU, so that way you'll be guaranteed a winning season.
Yeah, and if we don't blow the damn win against, if we beat LSU, we're 7-5, and if we don't blow the win against Missouri's dumbass, we're 8-4.
I know, which would be
we've been right where you were talking about.
But I'm gonna tell you this right now. Here's the thing, and you can bank on this because I've spent many drunken nights in Death Valley in Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. You are not gonna go in there and beat LSU without being able to throw the football because I can promise you LSU is going to do to us exactly what we did to Alabama tonight. They're going to line those physical, those athletically gifted ends on, and they're going to come right around our average line, tackles, and they're going to be up in Jackson Arnold's face. He is not. I don't think he's going to be able to run like that. I just don't think they're going to do it. They're going to use the home field advantage, and they're going to bump up on the wideouts, and they're going to get up in Jackson Arnold's face. And if he can't throw the ball, and if our receivers can't separate, we are. That's not going to be an easy win. Don't let them losing to Alabama that bad fool you.
So y'all are outsiders looking in. Tell me what y'all think about Kalen DeBoer and how he's got our team ready for certain games like this. What do y'all see?
I mean, man, here's the thing. I said this actually early on. Like, no matter how good a program is, when you lose a coach, particularly the best coach ever, there's no way that Alabama wasn't going to have bumps in the road this year. There was just no way. And so I don't know that there's enough sample size to really know. I mean, it's.
You think maybe it's sort of
his first year in the SEC too?
You think it's sort of a click thing with some of the players on the team that they're they think that they should have more of a say in the team because they've been there longer than the coaching staff kind of deal?
Well, that's ridiculous. And on top of that, like, this is the problem with having to replace a legend coach. This is what's going to happen, because if there's as soon as there's any bumps in the road, the players that the coaches are leaning on, it's going to be real easy for them to go, oh man, if Saban was here, this wouldn't be happening. And it might be right, but this is what he's got to. This is part of what taking over after a legend is that's part of the problem with it. So I don't know, depends on how he recruits, depends on, certainly having mutiny within the in the locker room, that's never a good thing. So he's definitely got to get that under control.
What do y'all see, Johnny Johns? And
man, I still say, hey, he was a good hire. You went out and got a guy that made it to the national championship, dude. His record against ranked opponents was incredible. He had beat he named the top dogs. Kirby Smart, he beat him. Sark, he beat him. Lincoln Riley, he beat him. Dan Lanning, he beat him. But, yeah, dude, he's had a problem. I mean, losing to Vanderbilt and I love – huge OU fan. This is one of the worst Oklahoma teams I've seen in a while. But it's crazy that he lost to this team but beat Georgia. He lost to, Vanderbilt, but he beat Georgia. And then, the Tennessee game was another, I don't know. I understand why y'all's frustrated. I'd be pretty frustrated too about it. But I still think that, like, he was the right hire to make. You went out, you lost a legend, dude, like Killer Bree said. And normally when you lose a legend like Nick Saban, the chances of going out and getting another guy who's just going to come right in and fill the shoes of that legend is so your chances, it's almost impossible.
I think he's doing great.
They went out and got the best guy they could, and if he works out, he does, and if he doesn't, it's part of life. But I think they got the best guy they could get, and it's impossible to fill those shoes. But I don't think he's a bum. He's a good coach. We'll see what he does if he makes it in the playoffs. But and there probably is some of that whole, like, he comes in and you got a lot of the players. A lot of them did stay, other than the Downs kid that's at Ohio State. But a lot of them did stay. But do they respect him the way they respect Nick Saban? I don't know, but definitely I'll tell you this much, dude. If Nick Saban was there, I don't think you lose to Vanderbilt, and you probably don't show up and lay an egg against Oklahoma, tonight. Like, I don't think Nick Saban team does that. Maybe you lay one egg, but you don't do what happened, tonight and against Vanderbilt.
Well, ironically, Killer Breeze was just blowing smoke. He's blowing smoke, man. That's why I think he's probably blowing smoke at my ass all year. Y'all set me up for this shit, didn't you?
No.
Well, dude, hey, we love you, bro, and we do respect Alabama. It's dude, the program speaks for itself.
Well,
but
it was a big win for y'all, man. You got to feel, even though as an Alabama fan, it's like I said earlier, man. You got to feel for Brent Venables, man. He's been through a lot of shit this whole time, from the very start with Lincoln Riley raiding his damn team to his wife having cancer twice now.
I mean, man, and if you really look at how bad they've been on defense for the last decade, particularly those last few years, and you look at where they are in just 3 years, that is no small feat. I mean, he has really turned the defense around. They're not elite by any means, but man, they are solid. You know, they've got real players. They can play with the big dogs. You know, that's impressive to me. So, man, if you can just get the offense in line, you know, again, with Arbuckle, you know, just not having a ton of experience, that worries me a little bit that he can run the whole show. I mean, damn, you know, but at the end of the day, I trust Brent Venables. But he better get this right, because if he doesn't get this right, that is going to be man.
I think this win over Alabama may have helped, you know, maybe keep your recruiting class from.
I hope so.
Just basically, because it was getting a little shaky. You had some guys that were leaving, but now they say this, and they're like, "Hey, this guy might be on the right track. He just needs a few breaks, man. He just needs to get his shit straight. He needs to get his feet entrenched, like Steve Sarkisian's had the chance to do at Texas."
Right. I'm saying the same thing.
Yes, yeah, Derek did say that. And Steve Sarkisian, you know, he went like 5-7 on one of his seasons,
and then held on to him. And now look at him.
And you were saying he needs to get a few breaks. I felt like tonight we got a lot of breaks that we have not been getting against the SEC teams. Like even the punt, like you know, the receiver dude. If he just lets that ball go, you know, they get the ball at the 25-yard line.
It's like Bob Stoops' aura is still there or something, man, because the 2 SEC wins you got are over both Alabama teams. And Bob,
I know.
Bob used to beat our ass regularly. He'd talk shit about the SEC, and then he'd back it up.
Right. Well, yeah, somebody did say that this week. I had another friend that was an Alabama fan. He said, dude, you do realize your only 3 wins against Alabama is when you had Bob Stoops. You don't have him no more. So good luck. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. There's no way I'm gonna sit here and tell you guys that I'm shocked that we won tonight. And I even told my dad on the phone. I said, dude, the only way we can keep this game close, we're gonna need our defense to get a couple touchdowns, and we're gonna need that Xavier Robinson to just totally have the night of his life, and we're gonna need Jackson Arnold to quit fumbling the damn ball. And we go out there, we fumble the ball. Xavier Robinson did have a good night. But even then, I felt like, because my dad, he was saying something like, man, I bet we'd probably lose 58-10. I said, no, we're not going to lose 58-10, but we may lose like 38-10. I really thought that was a real possibility. We probably
I thought it could be 60-0, honestly. But I did want to have my hot take that I can't believe actually turned out to be true, because it doesn't make any sense.
Hey, let's be honest, Outlaw. You thought he was an idiot saying that, right?
I love making those kinds of hot takes.
I thought he was an idiot. He's my brother. Yeah, I'm like, bro, you really went on a live?
No, I don't think he was an idiot, man, because it's been happening all year.
Right, and he did say that. He did say that.
Auburn beat Texas A&M tonight too. So,
right.
I mean, Will Snead says something I like: love and respect, roll sooner and boomer tide. Try to make me feel a little bit better, huh? Steve Lee is in the house. That's Killer Breeze, one of his favorites.
They're winning now in the fourth quarter.
UCLA gives us a nice little update. He finally says something that's constructive, so I'll let him have his little piece here. UCLA is beating Southern Crap 13-9 with 13 minutes left.
Yeah, we were watching that before we start watching this video. But yeah, Outlaw, brother, it sucks that the one win we get that's a big win was against your team. I mean, I know that's got to freaking suck, dude. Like I've supported Oklahoma all year, and now their team beats my team.
If we weren't in position to go to the playoffs, it might not have bothered me as much.
Right. I'm telling you.
You just basically fucked our season,
Hey, something else I got to say. There's someone who watches your channel. They keep up with us. They message me, and I told them, and they were celebrating. I said, hey man, come on the Outlaw. We're gonna go live. He said, man, you think Outlaw's gonna want to go live, dude? After what just happened? I said, dude, Outlaw ain't no bitch. Even when his team loses, he will go live.
I'm not gonna lie now. I swear to God, I almost bitched out tonight. I had to calm down. I even told Killer Breeze. I was having a conversation with Killer Breeze before this, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm afraid I might get on there and say something to piss everybody off, and they'll unsubscribe to my channel.
Right. That's why everybody loves you, man. You say what's on your mind, man.
Right. But, dude, hey, you showed up. Hey, me and Killer Breeze been showing up on these shows all year, dude, and we've been sucking and losing. We lost to Texas and Tennessee and Ole Miss and Missouri, and we just keep showing up on these shows even after losing. And, hey, you know what? The Outlaw, he still shows up, too, even after his team loses. Even after Vanderbilt, even after losing to Vanderbilt, he still showed up. So that's the difference between Oklahoma and Alabama fans and USC fans, dude. We still show up even when we lose.
USC fans won't show up when they're winning. They'll be at the transgender volleyball tournaments. They'll be at the transgender volleyball tournaments down in Santa Barbara and shit. They'll sell that shit out.
Right.
Well, there's just so much cooler stuff to do out there,
Appalachia African Twin makes a $5 donation. If OU fans are unhappy with BV, West Virginia will gladly trade Neil Brown for Brent Venables.
Right.
West Virginia guy up in here.
Hey, let's take a second. Hey, Marshall. First of all, I've forgotten more about Oklahoma football than you will ever know, my friend. So you can take your smart ass mouth and keep it to yourself, because I really don't give a shit what you think about me, the Bearded Twins, the fucking Outlaw, or anybody else, because that ain't getting you anywhere, brother.
Marshall Jenkins want to know where I found these dudes. They're pitiful sinners. Well, I tell you what, Marshall.
You calling me a bearded apologist? I didn't apologize for shit. You don't know what you're talking about, jackass.
Oh, can we cuss on this one?
Look, he says that Outlaw got Jay and Silent Bob and the Bearded Apologist. We whipped that ass boomer. Y'all did beat us.
That's my favorite.
I wouldn't go as far to say that
apologizing for.
I wouldn't go as far to say that you whipped our ass. I mean, we did. I mean, Jalen Milroe basically shit the bed and give y'all 14 points. So not trying to make excuses, just saying that I wouldn't call it a complete ass whipping. But
there was I tell
you what, Marshall, if you don't like the guest list here, you can come on. I've done told y'all 100,000 times, even Stevie Boy, old Lee's boy, who says he don't have time to come on here because his job's too important, yet he's in here tonight at 12:23 a.m. typing shit. If you ain't got time for this shit, then why are you on here typing shit, Steve? Get your ass in here. Don't be scared. If you're ugly, so what? It's all good, man. We're all good looking.
One that's ugly
looking, man. We can't help it. We're good looking, man.
Hey, he's the one that's better looking, rich, and he knows more about football than all of us.
Well, Marshall Jenkins. For some reason, Marshall Jenkins don't like y'all, man. He's another guy. He's different from Steve Lee's. But Marshall, if you want to be on here, just drop your email. Just drop your email down here in the comment section. I'll bring you in here, man.
Right. Especially if he
come dazzle us with all your Sooner Magic knowledge.
Right.
Man, my brother here, he's the encyclopedia. I got to ask him questions all the time.
I'm talking over you, man, but I don't know why someone want to get in here and insult somebody that's brave enough to be on here. People that talk that shit and then they don't ever want to come on here. How you gonna talk shit about someone who's brave enough to get on here, but you're not brave enough to come on here? I don't get it. Sooner J.A. travels with a $10 donation, says cheers to the OCF. I appreciate the donation, brother. We got another big donation from Sisyphus JWK, a $50 donation. And no comment with that, but if you put a comment down here, brother, I'll make sure I read it out. That's a hell of a donation.
I do have I guess it's a hot take. Do y'all think it's a hot take? I think Alabama's still going to the playoffs. I don't think it's a big of a loss because I think a lot of people are probably going to end up losing another game.
I said last week that there was still a couple of weeks left and I guarantee you there'll be big upsets next week too. So I don't think Bama's out of it by a long shot.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I know on the Sports Animal down here in Oklahoma, they were talking about with OU, they were thinking that we could get in with 3 losses. So I mean, if we could get in with 3 losses, surely Alabama could.
Yeah.
It's the expanded playoff now.
Well, everybody's got 3 losses now, so you might be right.
Exactly.
Texas is the only one that's sitting pretty now. Now that A&M lost, Texas, because I do think they're going to lose to A&M, especially now that A&M lost. They're the ones that are sitting pretty now. They're guaranteed, I think, to get into the SEC championship game now.
Yeah.
Marshall said we made him shit the bed, take that 3 points. It's funny, Marshall, you've been talking all nicey nice to me all year, man. And talking about how Oklahoma didn't have a chance and all this shit. Now all of a sudden you're the biggest Oklahoma Boomer Sooner fan of all time. You've had confidence. You just knew Oklahoma was going to win that game, right? Man, shut the hell up, man. Get your ass on here, man. Quit being a pudding tang about it. Put your little email down there. Ain't nobody going to stalk you, man. Come on in here, man. We're not going to rough you up too bad. We might haze you a little bit.
Yeah, man, I don't understand. Everybody's always been really cool, really nice to me every time I come in here. But, there was that one guy that one time.
He's saying that y'all are apologists. I guess he wants y'all to just rub it in my face. Even though I've been supportive.
Well, first of all, I've
been supportive of Oklahoma for 3+ years, man.
Exactly.
I didn't apologize. What did I apologize for? I didn't make any excuses for anything. I didn't talk shit about Oklahoma. What are you talking about, dude? You're making no sense.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know what it is that he wants, dude. I mean, OU won the game that a lot of us didn't think was going to win, man. I mean, we showed up. Maybe
nobody thought Oklahoma was going to win that game except your brother. I mean, nobody thought that.
I make hot takes all the time that are stupid.
He throws shit at the wall to see what will stick.
Exactly, it stuck.
This is one of them ones that stuck.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta own that. You got to own that. But my point is, everyone. I mean, nobody. They were 14 point. They were 2 touchdown underdogs in Vegas. I didn't see one sports pundit, journalist, anything, YouTube, and nobody picking Oklahoma to win this game.
Now, y'all go back and watch. Y'all go back and watch me and Jeremy Smith's show a couple of days ago. We actually said that this game could be close. We didn't say that Oklahoma was going to win it. I didn't even give a prediction because I didn't want to, because I got, I'm sort of partial to Oklahoma a little bit too. I ain't gonna lie. They sort of, me and Oklahoma sort of grown on each other. But I'm just saying, man. Buck56 says, Outlaw, how did we lose to South Carolina in misery but beat Bama? It makes no sense. Like I said, it's been happening all year. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt got beat by LSU, but Alabama beat LSU. Just making no sense whatsoever this year.
Well, the fact that they were able to win the game without passing for more than 100 yards is kind of mind-boggling to me, to be honest with you. But I didn't expect them to run the ball for over 250 yards on Alabama either. So
they took it Vanderbilt playbook.
But when you break it down, when you break it down to its basics, it's good defense and running the ball well. It wins every time. If you're running the ball well and you're playing good defense, you 9 times out of 10 you are walking off the field as a winner.
Well, they just took the Vanderbilt playbook, basically.
Yes,
that's what Johnny said.
They took the Vanderbilt playbook, but with better defense. So,
right, exactly.
Michael Stevens has a $5 donation. It looks like Oklahoma looked what Florida did early to Ole Miss and said, "I will have what he is having." Yeah, I guess Florida started it all. It's all Florida's fault. They started this shit today. 11 o'clock, upsetting people. The SEC's cannibalizing itself.
That's what it's going to be every year now, man. Like, this is what, you didn't just add 2 more programs. You added 2 more programs that get elite talent year in and year out. So you just made it exponentially harder to win in the SEC by adding those 2 programs. And I just don't know. I think it's going to be more like the NFL. I think the undefeated seasons in the SEC are going to be fairly uncommon. And you're going to see, when you have a 2-loss or a 3-loss year, that's not necessarily going to be all that bad.
Right. Which is why Alabama feel bad about what's going on right now. And then there'll be every once in a while you'll get a good little you'll get a schedule that's in your favor, like Texas has right now.
And you'll have your good runs where you have, you know, a lot of good 1 and 2 loss years. You know, maybe you have an undefeated season here. You know, everyone, you know, but
Right.
I just don't see with this kind of talent. I mean, man, you know, Ole Miss is last week. Ole Miss was ranked number 1 in the power rankings of the SEC last week. You know what I mean? And that's Ole Miss. Like, that's just not. They just don't have the even the lower tier teams in the SEC all have good talent, you know, and
I think
I just don't know how it's gonna be able to go through the SEC without taking a couple of losses every year.
Right. Appalachia Africa Twin has a $5 donation. We're making some money tonight, brothers. I'm gonna have to send y'all some appearance fees.
All right. Just go down
Outlaw is a solar panel equipped love machine. Cut the grumpy old man some slack and show some love for the channel. Show us the money. Hell yeah. That's one of them Jerry Maguire lines. Show me the money.
For me, I think it's NIL that is kind of making everything more distributed. The talent, basically, is what I'm thinking.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, absolutely, I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it's making it harder to hoard talent.
So everything's dissolving.
Schools. Yeah, it's
the crown jewel of our recruiting class is in Austin, Texas tonight, and that's probably not a good thing. Hopefully, this win might stop that from happening.
Right.
But from what I'm hearing, it sounds like Oklahoma understands that they need to start stepping up bigger in the NIL game and in the portal. You know, for the next couple of years, that it's just they just don't have a choice. You know,
they're going to have to put some kind of rules in place for this shit too. They need to just make them.
I hope they do. I mean,
contracts, man. Make them sign contracts so they can't leave every year.
I was about to say that, man. Yeah, some kind of contract, right, with the money.
Yeah, make it where they sign a 2-year or a 3-year contract. You know, that would definitely help. Right now, it's just God, dude. It is wild how it is right now. It's like you're rooting for a logo, and your team. I mean, there's just so many moving pieces right now, dude. Like,
Hey, I thought about this tonight. I swear to God, I even told my friend this. What Michael Stevens just said. He said Miro got so confused by Oklahoma's defense that he forgot multiple times the guys in crimson were not on his team. Alabama red.
That usually happens to us.
Crimson, man. At least with Georgia, Georgia's got that off red. Looks like some kind of faded out Dollar General shit. But you know, sorry, I took a shot at the hedge pitcher, so I couldn't help myself. But yeah,
I was afraid that was going to happen to us tonight. Where
started out like that, I thought, oh shit, they're starting to fumble the ball already.
Yeah. Right. I'm telling you, dude, I was pissed. I was madder than a hornet.
Yeah, it wasn't just a fumble.
Because y'all were going to score. Y'all were at the 20-yard line when that shit happened.
Right.
Y'all could have had more points. I was telling my friend at halftime, I was like, man, they should be up on us right now. More than 7 points. Y'all should be up.
Well, we drove down.
Missed a field goal.
That's what we drove down into Alabama's territory. The first 3 drives we were in Alabama territory, and we came away with 0 points. 0.
Yeah. I was pissed. I'm like, dude, this is the Oklahoma offense that we've seen all year. We got a fumble. We got a missed field goal. We got a drop pass by the tight end on the trick play. The dude's literally wide open. All he's going to do is catch that. It's right in his hands. There's no excuse for it. And I'm like, dude, you just can't make this up, man. This offense just does a really good job of shooting themselves in the foot. We've got Alabama on the ropes here at home. We got a chance to lay a good punch on them, and you fumble it, then you drop a ball, then you miss a field goal after that.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed. I'm like, well, guys, let's start drinking because this is going to be another one of those nights. And then somehow, some way, thank God, the defense kept playing really well. And something we ain't talked about, I feel like we got a lot of lucky bounces that we haven't been getting all year, like that punt, you know.
I agree.
And there was the touchdown that Alabama could have got, and then all of a sudden it's a late ass flag.
I don't know what that.
If I'm Alabama fan, I'm pissed about that.
I was pretty incensed over that shit because I'm like, it should have been going wrong all night. We finally get some momentum and they just yank it away from us. And even Kirk Herbstreit and them were saying in the booth, why did he wait so late to throw the flag?
Right.
And then the guy, the official in the booth that they have up there, I forget his name, he's like, that was the wrong call. And so it's sort of, you know how you are as a fan, man. You're like, you start getting pissed off and feel like, damn, man. Of course, y'all know how it feels. Y'all been snake bit all year. And I'm just like, we've been snake bit the whole game. We finally have a momentum type drive, and they just yank it away from us.
Right. Yeah. That definitely would. And dude, everybody in the living room that was watching the game, they're all OU fans. Every one of us. There's about 8 of us in there, and not one person watched that and felt like we were all like, "Ooh, we got one. We got one on them."
I don't understand. I guess I got to go back and look. I don't know.
That was a hell of a catch by Ryan Williams, man. He makes some of the most acrobatic catches I've ever seen. I don't know how he got his fucking foot down.
Right. Yeah, he's badass, dude. That kid's a stud for sure. But see, at first, I thought they had too many guys not enough guys lined up on the line. I thought it was like an illegal formation or something at first, and then they said illegal touching, and I'm like, dude, what is it that y'all called?
I was so confused.
And then it was late as hell, So
we normally never get those weird calls that help us any. It's the other way around for OU. So I was really
everywhere, man. It's not just this game. It's every game I've watched this year. That South Carolina LSU game, they absolutely robbed South Carolina, man. They should have beat LSU that game.
Yeah.
Marcus Williams has a $10 donation. Now that the NIL is the law of the land, Southern schools are going to lose a lot of players to the Northern schools. Michigan literally has billions galore. Big Ten schools have a lot more titans of the industry. Y'all agree with that?
Man,
a lot of money in oil and gas in the South, brother.
That's what I was thinking. Like Texas, probably.
Right, man, exactly.
It's a big state, dude.
As bad as I hate to admit it, Texas has got a lot of inches of cockamus. I can guarantee it. I hate Texas. I hate Texas A&M. I don't like neither one of them. But when it comes to guys having a lot of money, I mean, hell, Oregon also, and I know they're not in the South. But
that's all along the Gulf Coast, though, man. That oil money.
Well, you know why they're saying that? Because Michigan took that quarterback off of LSU.
Yeah,
offered him like $10 or $12 million. But here's the thing, Marcus: if you blow your wad on one player, what are you going to do about your offensive line? You got to pay them too, don't you? You gonna pay all your players $10 million? I don't even think Michigan can do that. I don't think Texas A&M can do that shit.
I don't think anyone can just drop a huge bag and then have a national championship. Like you still gotta have the right pieces. And some of them are gonna be, millions of dollars. Yes. Like right now, we need some coaches, man. I think we got the pieces that can make it work. But
the thing, here's the thing, and this ain't just Oklahoma or an Alabama or anybody thing. The thing I'm seeing across the board with a lot of teams is when you lose a recruit to a school, it could be a rival school, it could be whatever. The first thing you say is, "Oh my God!" Oklahoma fans. The Michael Fasusi, we heard that he may be going to Texas. He's visiting Texas. I can't tell you how many Oklahoma fans called the sports animal talking about how NIL has ruined college football and oh my God, Okay, now here's the deal. We wasn't saying anything about the NIL. You only say that when a recruit that you thought you were going to get ends up flipping and going somewhere else. We didn't say that when Peyton Bowen flipped and came to Oklahoma. We didn't say that when we got Jackson Arnold, a 5-star quarterback. We didn't say that when we got Taylor Tatum, a number 1 running back. We didn't say that when we got David Stone. We didn't say that with DJ Adeborak.
Y'all's favorite son was down here on the Alabama Talk Show last week, Barry Switzer.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Wimp Sanderson's show. He used to be the head basketball coach at Alabama back in the day. Mm-hmm. And Barry Switzer, he asked Wimp Sanderson, like, you know what NIL stands for, don't you?
Now it's legal.
I said, now it's legal.
That's what
Barry Switzer told him, man. He's like, now it's legal. He's like, man, we can pay him. We can pay him now. That's what I'm trying. Why I brought that up is because what you're saying is y'all flip players all the time for money too. You know, so people can't get mad at Michigan for doing it, right?
Right.
But the thing is, it's been going on for about 70 years.
Right.
It's been doing it under the table.
Right.
Alabama's been buying players for years. I know Oklahoma has too. You know, so we all been doing it.
Right.
The NCAA has a selective way of punishing people. They just pick and choose somebody to punish, especially Southern teams. You ever notice that the Northern teams don't really get hit hard with probation for whatever reason?
Yeah,
that's right. I just realized. Yeah, I haven't noticed it.
They'll give them a little bit of probation, but it's just like try to make it look like they're being fair, but they're really not.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, my whole thing is, dude, is we've also landed some really big players that I was super happy that we got, and so yeah, for me to say like, oh my God, the NIL's ruined the game, like, dude, we've gotten some big names that I was really happy that we got, and it only sucks when your team's having a bad year like we've been having. I know tonight was a big win. But yeah, it only sucks when your team ain't doing real well. That's when you bitch about what's going on in college football nowadays. But when your team's doing good, all
NIL commission says Killer Breeze looking all happy and shit down there and smile he can't get rid of. He tries not to smile for a little while. He's trying not to rub it in on me. I know what he's doing.
Hey, all year I've been saying, dude, we can't have nothing nice. And then finally they give us something, you know. We got to take whatever we can get this year.
Man, look,
y'all going bowling now. Y'all going to a bowl.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
we give y'all a Christmas present.
It's still a bad year, and but man, you know, dude, to have not been bowl eligible this year would have been such a bad look. You know, for Brent Venables, for the program, like that just cannot. It just can't be that bad. Like, it just can't be that bad. We can't be having losing records, you know. So the fact that we were able to ensure that we at least go 500 at worst, you know.
Well, if you lose your bowl game and you lose to LSU, you'd be under 500 again.
Considering how, you know, I'm talking about losing regular season, where you're not getting into a bowl game. That's
so if y'all go to that little if y'all go to that bowl down in Orlando again, I wonder if Ona Cano's going to finally show up to support his team.
Is it going to be a Cheez-It Bowl?
Right. Yeah, he didn't show up last time. He said he needed to get in free, deserved to get in free, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm special. I got 13,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm the man.
I mean, that is what that's what it was. That's what he thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me a toothpick like Razor Ramon's. Pluck that shit.
Right.
Scott Hall, my bad.
But yeah, it's like if he couldn't get a free ticket, he wasn't going to go watch. OU was playing right in his backyard.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to go unless he get it.
Orlando is a long way from Norman, so I could understand him never being to a game in Norman. But they come to the backyard, brother. You don't understand the team and the fans have basically made your podcast for you. You're not going to go see them play. If Oklahoma were to go to the Alabama Bowl, the Birmingham Bowl that we have here, and Oklahoma's not my number one team, but because y'all supported my channel so much, my ass would be in Birmingham watching that game.
Right, exactly, and the fact that he wasn't, and then bitched about not getting a free ticket. The ticket, it ain't like it was the national championship game. I highly doubt it.
Well, it wasn't like today's. Well, those was like today's game.
It wasn't even like today's tickets. Yeah, today's tickets were high.
Very expensive.
Man, he looks like one of them guys probably go to Disney World and want to sit on Mickey's lap and shit. Goofy ass.
So now that
he's gonna be coming for me now. He's gonna hear this shit. He's gonna be coming for me.
So where do you think it goes? So what teams now do you think are going to make it into the playoff from the SEC?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
Who's it going to be now?
They might invite the whole Sun Belt Conference at this point. Ain't nobody in the SEC can win anymore.
Who's it going to be? And is the SMU really going to make the playoff?
I believe they will. Ain't that ironic? You know, SMU was the biggest of paying people back in the day. They got the death penalty, but now they can pay players. So look at where SMU is now.
Not only that, but they were just an afterthought addition to the ACC. It's just like,
yeah, their first year in the ACC they win. That shows you how weak the ACC is.
How in the hell is the SMU making it to the? It's just unbelievable, man.
So if Oklahoma goes to a bowl this year, and they probably are at this point, unless they don't have enough bowls for 6-6 or 7-5 teams. Sometimes they do run out of spots, but most time you're going to get in a bowl, especially you're in the SEC. If they go to the bowl, if they go to, like, I don't know, the Alamo Bowl or the Texas Bowl in Fort Worth or the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, somewhere like that, are y'all going to go?
That's what it would be. I mean,
I would probably go to one of those. Yeah,
close by, like Texas, neighboring state, I guess.
It's like in Shreveport. I've been to the Independence Bowl a few times when Alabama sucked really bad. I was just gonna say, if y'all going to the bowl game, I might be able to go to that. If y'all want to hook up.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we're not playing a show, which we're usually not in January. That's our slowest time of the year, usually.
It'll be January.
End of December, beginning of January. But usually I would definitely go to one, especially if it's not, like if it's in Orlando, I probably won't go to that one. But, if it's at like one in San Antonio or, so one in Louisiana or anywhere in the state of Texas right next door, I'd probably go to any of those, yeah. Oh
yeah, I would be open to that for sure.
Right.
Especially now that but yeah, I would be down.
Well, our guy 1218 sort of makes a point on what you were saying, Killer Breeze. Wasn't there more excitement about Stanford and Cal joining the ACC other than SMU?
Hell yeah.
It was an afterthought.
Right.
Absolutely, it was.
SMU, to me, I would consider a Southern team. So, Southern teams tend to dominate. I mean, I think Ohio State has 1 or 2 national titles. Michigan has that 1. So, 3 national titles for teams outside the South out of the last, 24?
Pretty much.
The Southern teams have won 20 out of the last 23, I think. Something like that.
It.
Well,
Clemson's a Southern team. Florida State's a Southern team.
Who won it in 97, 98, and 99? Florida State was one of those. Weren't they 99?
I think so. I think they won in 99.
And then was Tennessee. Tennessee was 96.
98.
Florida
State was 98. Nebraska was 95 and 96.
Yep.
And then Florida after
Michigan
that
was 97, weren't they?
And some one-hit wonder 2000.
Wasn't Michigan 97?
Was it Michigan or was it Florida?
It was a split title. It was before they had the BCS. It was Michigan and Nebraska.
Okay. Michigan and Nebraska.
And in 1998 was the first BCS game. It was Tennessee versus Florida State or somebody.
Okay, but Florida Gators won one also in the late 90s, right?
Yeah, they won one in 96.
96. So Nebraska must have been 94, 95 then.
That's right.
Maybe
94, 95, then they had a split title with Michigan in 97.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the last time that you had teams really from outside the South winning the it's been that long. I mean, now that you got Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC going all the way back to 2000, other than Michigan and Ohio State's titles. Well,
USC, but are they South? I mean,
no, Florida State won one in there with Jameis Winston, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's South. What am I thinking? Jesus.
Fred Bagley thinks we're not keeping the chat involved enough. So
what's up?
I don't know. If y'all see any comments that y'all want me to read out, I will. If they'll just there's so many comments coming in, Fred, right now because we have 85 people. We got up to 115. If if you want your chat read out, just click on that little money dollar sign at the bottom. It'll push you up to the top, and then I'll read your chat over everybody else's.
It's only $1 for a holler, guys. I mean, even throw $1 on there, you get $1 for a holler.
Yeah, they let you type more characters the more you donate, but you can get what you need to say in there easily for $5.
Hold on, did we miss Marcus's super chat?
I thought I got it. Let me try it. Let me see. Let me go back and see. Let me get it.
Oh, here, wait.
I got it right here. Marcus Williams. Yeah, Marcus Williams with a $5 donation. How do you feel about the Big and the SEC doing their own thing in the future?
Yeah, because you read his other comment. That was the one about the Big Ten schools having more titans of industry.
That's right. I could see that happening possibly if things don't go right this year and a few SEC and Big Ten schools get left out. They may come together and say, hey, we're just going to take our ball and go home. I hope that's not the case. I'm not an SEC guy, but I don't want to see that happen because I feel like it just takes away from college football because I like having all these different venues to go to.
Yeah, I'm in it for the tradition. College football is my favorite sport because of all the crazy traditions and all the teams. And, I don't want it to just, get, cut off, severed away from everything.
Right.
Marcus also says that Southern Cal dominated the early 2000s. Do you think that they dominated all of the early 2000s? I mean, I wouldn't say dominated. Would you?
I think they had
a couple of good years when Pete was cheating.
They had a good run. They were good in 03 and 04, and they were decent in 05, and they got beat by Texas. But then that
was when Pete was cheating, right?
That's right.
Cheat Pete. Cheat Pete. But it's dude, y'all had a good team 03, 04, and 05. But, I mean, dude, how many BCS championships did you actually win? I always tell people that, Bob was good, but Bob Stoops, I love Bob. Bob was good, but, he only won that one BCS championship. Okay, well, how many did Pete Carroll win? He won one. Dude. And in one of them, they gave him a split, and then there was the other one where he lost to Texas. So it's dude, no doubt, you guys were SEC was amazing.
NCAA actually took one away from them.
Exactly. So they didn't even win that. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else more. I mean, what they did was good, yeah, but I mean, that's like saying, oh well, Georgia. Basically, what they did was a lot like what Georgia did for the last 3 years. I mean,
did they have 3 years? Did they have a 3-year run?
I mean, Georgia did have a 3-year run. They won it 2 years in a row, and then last year they went 14-1. They were really good for 3 years.
No, not Georgia. Are you talking about Southern
Cal? USC, yes, they were good for 3 years, just like Georgia was good for 3 years.
USC or Southern Cal?
USC, Southern Cal.
Oh wait! Oh my God! Yeah, I mean, see, I say stupid stuff.
Denizen said,
"It's all right." Good with it.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that what they did is just terrible or I'm not. It's not like I hate USC. I do hate Lincoln Riley.
I hate USC.
I'll just say it. But dude, I hate Lincoln Riley. But I mean, what USC did, dude, they went on a pretty good run. But to say that they dominated the early 2000s, domination. I mean. Dominate. That's what Alabama's done. That's what Nick Saban did, dude, the last 15 years. That's domination. Nick Saban dominated. But yeah, they were really good for 3 years. I'll tell you something else. OU was really good for those 5 years, from 2000 to 2004, 2000, 01, 02, 03, 04. We beat Texas 5 years in a row.
Hell yeah!
I really wish we would have been able to win just that one more ring against LSU, because I feel like that would have got the respect that it deserved, because they would have said
he likes to try to get that second national title.
Right.
His legendary coach goes. Denizen says the obvious problem with the SEC is that they can beat most teams outside the conference, yet they beat up on each other. Well, these teams do beat the SEC in non-conference games, like LSU got beat by USC, but it's one-offs. Anybody can get up for one game. I mean, just, y'all know about that with Boise State and the Fiesta Bowl. Anybody can get up for one game. That's called a one-off. But can they win 4 or 5 games just like that?
I was at the Boise State game.
I don't think they can win 4 or 5 games in the SEC.
No.
Right.
No,
I was at that Boise State game, and I wanted to throw up when they ran the hook and ladder. And then, as if the hook and ladder wasn't bad enough, they win the game on a mother effing Statue of Liberty play. Like, I'm like, are you effing kidding me? And I was in the stands, and I wanted to throw up.
Marcus says he's a Michigan fan.
Yeah, he's a Michigan fan. I was going to tell him that there's a guy in here. Damn, man, it's slipping my mind. Who's that Michigan guy in here that's always in here, Killer Breeze?
1989M.
1989M's always up in here. He's a Michigan guy. We always give y'all's kudos, and I make sure everybody knows that y'all are still technically are defending national champions.
And your coach is a Sooner.
By the way, Marcus.
Yeah, he is. He is. Michigan's coach is a Sooner.
Just I don't know if you know, Marcus. I think you're new in here. You was bringing up USC. Just want to let you know that we got a little nickname for them. It's called the Skittle Shitters. So make sure you learn that terminology when you the next time you're in here. You'll know you won't be feeling left out. But they're the Skittle Shitters.
They shit Skittles.
They do shit Skittle.
You have to come up with creative adjectives these days because if you don't, they'll censor you. But it goes with Feel the Rainbow kind of shit, So.
But do you have a T-shirt with that on there yet? I love the shitter thing. There's got to be some kind of T-shirt idea there, man.
There's many. There's many actually.
I got a store, but nobody ever accesses it.
We got to beef it up though.
Well, I didn't really. The designs aren't exactly the greatest in the world. Of course, Nick Beer done some of them, so.
That's what he does that for a living.
Designer, man. That's what I do, man. Graphic art, getting into some CGI and stuff. Trying to learn some.
I might have to take you up on that. Maybe create me a different store.
Come up with a few T-shirt designs, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And then we need to promote it on the show while we're going live, dude. Like one of us wear one or whatever, but start promoting it.
But I don't know. Would you wear a shirt that says Skittle Shitters?
No, but I would if it was making fun of Skittle Shitters.
I know. I can figure it out, man. There's going to be a way.
Steve Lee says Oklahoma and Southern Crap have the same record. It would be great to play them in a bowl game. Yeah, someone said that earlier, but I don't know if the tie-ins are correct. I don't know what the Big Ten SEC tie-ins are for the bowls out there. It would be a nice game, but here's the thing. What if you lose that game? That's the only caveat to that. What if you lose that game?
I never hear the end of it.
I don't want to think about that. Killer said, it's a compliment to the success Alabama has had that Oklahoma fans would rush the field. Probably the only program that makes OU fans insecure. You could argue OU was top dog prior to 2009. You could make that argument in terms of a consistency level.
I'm not going to say that we would never rush the field because we went through a time where we were down and we beat a big name school, we may charge the field. We may get, that emotion, man. You know how students are anyway.
Well, the last time we rushed the field, the big difference to me was when Oklahoma, after being bad for a decade, was finally number 1 in the polls again. That was after that week. We came into the game ranked number 3. Nebraska was number 1. I watched that game from the 50-yard line. It was amazing. And what's that?
Oh yeah, you got
off the field. Yeah, I ended up bringing my dad onto the field. My dad went to OU in the 50s, and I brought him out on the field with me, and we smoked a victory cigarette on the 50-yard line. It was one of the best
memories. I love that, man.
But that was the programs in terms of Nebraska being a big program at the time and getting a win over that was similar to today's win over Alabama because Alabama's kind of that version of that today plus some.
Right.
But the significance of it to go to just become bowl eligible versus taking over number 1 in the polls again finally, like I don't know if we should have been rushing the field today. But great win. no doubt, great win, and a win Brent Venables needed for sure to stop a lot of the critics. This will go a long way with a lot of the people that matter.
And it was how we won too, dude. We had not 5, but now 6 of our receivers out. We was able to win it with defense. Brent Venables is a defensive coordinator. It was probably the best defensive performance I've seen from this Oklahoma team since he's been the head coach. Even better defensive performance than when we played Texas last year. And it was the way that we won the game that made it a big deal. That defense, I couldn't believe that defensive line played that well against Alabama.
Dude,
it was like they did a hell of a job. And it was the way. It needed to go down that way. For Brent Venables to keep his job, it needed to go down that way, the way it went down.
You know, Brent Venables has a history of beating Alabama anyway. He beat us when he was at Clemson.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another thing too, man. It was a good game from the offensive line too. You know, the offensive line played pretty damn well today. Jackson Arnold was not under siege all day long.
Right.
They ran the ball well. They had over 250 yards rushing against Alabama. You know, man, they played pretty well, including old Spencer Brown. When I saw Spencer Brown coming out on the field, I just thought, oh man, here we go. And but you know, you got to give it to him, man. They did okay today. They especially considering how bad they were as a unit not that long ago.
Yeah. Right.
So you know, Bill Bedenbaugh kind of coming back on form.
Well, you said that Bill Bedenbaugh save his job. I think that just depends on the offensive coordinator we hire and whether or not he wants to keep any of these guys here. You know, whether he wants to keep Bill Bedenbaugh and DeMarco Murray and Joe John Finley and all those guys. I mean, he may want to bring his own guys. He may say, "Hey, man, these guys." He may keep some of them, maybe, I don't know, but
I don't see. I would see Bill Bedenbaugh getting. I mean, if you listen to Dusty Dvorak, he makes it pretty clear that Bedenbaugh is like, there's no question about how high regard he's held by people on both levels, college and pro.
Right.
So, you know, I think there's a chance he would stay, but I'd be shocked if Joe John Finley is here next year, nor do I want him to be here next year. I appreciate Joe John as a player, and I know he loves Oklahoma, but the tight end room is suspect at best. I'm not even giving him credit for bringing Devon Mitchell in, because if Michael Hawkins doesn't come here, then Devon Mitchell doesn't come here. So, and if you take Devon Mitchell away from him, what has he done in the tight end room in the 3 years that he's been in charge of it, man? Like, and he let one of the great in-state high school recruits of all time, you know, get away and go to Ohio State. Like, that's horrible.
I want to address this real quick with Steve Lees. I'm sort of confused by this statement. It says, I'm not a fan of storming the field, but the reason they did storm it is because the season Oklahoma's had with all the injuries. So you're saying it didn't have anything to do with them beating Alabama? They had nothing to do with Alabama's name, right? So why didn't y'all storm the field when y'all beat Maine?
Right.
No, it's because Alabama's bad.
It had nothing to do with Alabama. See, y'all, I've been coming here and trying to be cordial and be sportsmanlike.
Let it all out, Outlaw.
You just can't do it, man. You cannot be a good winner, man. You're just not a good winner, man. And you're probably even worse loser. So, I mean, just since you want to talk shit, let's do it. Let's talk some smack, man.
No, I think
Outlaw all fired up.
Well, maybe
we're all fired up. No cojones. Kelly is in the house.
Right. Maybe he was thinking it's a combination of the injuries and beating Alabama. But I mean, dude, it is.
I just don't want to give Alabama credit, man. He's been talking that shit all year. Killer Breeze knows about Steve Lee.
Say nothing new.
He's a narc.
He's another cop.
Nah, he's a dog the bounty hunter wannabe. I think he's got that damn poster on the ceiling over his damn bed. Probably peels his tater to it at night.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
hey, no cojones, Kelly, give us your prediction on the LSU game next weekend. What is going to be the outcome of that game, considering the last where these programs are at this point in the year?
Well, LSU squeaked it out tonight against Vanderbilt. They did have Vanderbilt at home, though. I was wondering if LSU had went to Nashville, they would have won that game. But yeah.
Well, last week was pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said earlier that I thought y'all could win one of these two games. I didn't think it was going to be Alabama. I thought y'all could keep it close, but I didn't think y'all could beat us. But
yeah, no, I thought
y'all could beat LSU, man, because they look like they're in disarray.
You should have said none of the two. Man, no.
I've heard people saying that Kelly's lost the locker room. I don't know if that's true or not. I'd like to hear what Ryan thinks of that as well. But I never thought Brian Kelly was a good fit at LSU. He's just not, man. He's just not. LSU is not the kind of place where you can go and not be a good fit. You got to be a good fit, man, if it's gonna work. And he ain't that, so.
No cojones. Kelly said I'm pissing in my diaper. Well, let me ask you this. I'm on here tonight after my team lost. Where was you when Alabama whooped LSU's ass? We beat y'all 42-13. Where'd you come? I tried to get you on here, man. You disappeared, man. You couldn't take it. I'm in here taking it, man. Where were you at when Alabama whooped the shit out of LSU? You must have really pissed your diaper. You must have rashed up or something. That's probably why you couldn't get on. Your ass was sore. Couldn't sit down. We panned that ass good, boy.
I mean, dude, there's been weeks that we're all on here after. I mean, it's not like you skip a week, dude. I mean, Alabama's lost 3 games. You come on here every week,
you're
win or lose.
They say that shit all the time. They're like, where you at, man? Where you at? I'm like, I'm right here. What else you want me to do? Do y'all want me to just roll over? I'm not going to roll over and take it. I'll come in here and talk to you, and if you start talking shit, I'm just going to talk shit back. I'm not supposed to be able to talk. I'm not supposed to be able to talk shit back to them. Is what it is.
No, man, it's totally legal, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's my favorite part about sports, man. All shit talking.
Yep. William Meeks says that we'll see if tonight was a fluke or if this team is turning a corner. William, give us your opinion. What is it? Is this a fluke or is this team turning a corner? Give us your opinion. Tell us why you feel the way you do.
I feel like we're turning.
Well, I think he sort of feels like what you were saying, and I actually thought about it too. If Oklahoma was pushed to pass the ball more tonight, which they weren't, will they be able to beat LSU? If they're forced to pass the ball a little bit more, will they be able to beat LSU?
I don't know. Their receivers haven't been able to get separation from anyone all year long. I mean, that's just a fact. So I have no idea if they can do it or not.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't think they can. If we're in a situation where we have to pass the ball, when we couldn't pass the ball against Missouri, we couldn't throw the ball against Texas and even against Auburn. The one game we did win, the games we did win in the SEC, Auburn and Alabama, we literally got away with those games because we had a pick six. We had a long, good quarterback running game that was able to, get something going. And you just can't win. You can't win. It's hard to get somebody off guard. Like now, when we go play LSU next week, they're going to be the ones that has the home crowd, night game.
Well, dude,
and they're going to know what our game plan is. Like they're going to know, like, dude, this. And now we're without 6 of our best wide receivers. So, yeah, I have a hard time believing we're going to go into play LSU at LSU, win the game only throwing for 50 yards. It's not going to cut it. We won't be able to throw for 50 yards and win the game.
I do got a question, though. How far do we need to throw the ball? Are you thinking, will short passes work?
Well, we need more than
I think that'd be fine, but they've got to be able to throw the ball more. They're going to have to at least go down the field a couple of times. But they have to throw the ball more. Again, if this stays a night game, if this is still going to be a night game, both of them are so bad this year, they might throw it into to an afternoon game. But if they play this game at night in Death Valley, I can promise you this: no matter how bad LSU's record or how out of it the contention they may be, the fans will show up and they are going to be salivating at the chance to beat OU down in Death Valley. You can bank your ass on that.
Now, unless you get up 28-6 in the third quarter, you get up 28-6 in the third quarter, and they'll start leaving. That's what happened when they played Alabama. But watch, they'll turn around and beat Oklahoma now that Oklahoma beat us. They're going to try and beat Oklahoma or some shit because it's probably going to be hard to come down off this high. I'm sure they're on a high right now, man. They're probably feeling like top of the world right now. It'd be hard to get them back down for this game in a way.
Right.
You just gotta hope that it continues the momentum. And, that's what you just gotta hope for.
No Cojones Kelly with a $2 donation says, "I'll come on this week. Pick your night." A little late, ain't it? I mean, we beat y'all 2 weeks ago, man. You gonna come on now? After your ass is sore? I ain't sore. I'm sitting right here, man. I got calluses on my ass right now from that Sooner ass.
And he's still here, man.
Right.
And he'll up a little bit.
That's funny.
Denizen feels pretty confident that OU is going to beat LSU down. That's what Denizen says.
Well, I hope you're right, buddy.
It's hard and I don't normally agree with Kirby Smart on a lot, but he said it best, man. It's hard to come and play every single week with the same intensity. You can get away with that in other conferences, man, because the middle of their conference is filled up with Purdue's and Maryland's and teams like that. We don't have that luxury to see. We're probably 14 teams deep, and now Auburn looks like they're coming back around, so we might be 15 deep outside of Mississippi State.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a deep-ass conference for sure, man. It's tough for everybody. I mean,
it's tougher than I thought it was going to be for sure.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be tough,
is.
But it's definitely tougher than I thought.
It's just legit, man. It's every team, and now even the likes of Vanderbilt and Kentucky, they've got players, South Carolina is has got an unbelievable defense, and it's South Carolina, and they got as good a defensive front as anyone in the SEC. So, that's what you're up against every week. You know what I mean? I tend to agree with the Outlaw. I don't think the SEC should ever go to a 9-game conference schedule. It's hard enough.
And if they're gonna get mad about us playing Mercer, I'll tell you what, we'll make you a deal. Instead of us picking up another conference game, we'll pick you up. All right. We'll drop Mercer, and Penn State can drop Bowling Green. And we'll play Penn State in a home and home. Yeah. That's what they want. But they don't want to do that, see? Well, they want us to drop ours and add another SEC team so we can beat up on each other.
Well, dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. The Oklahoma has never needed bye weeks and a cupcake team to play ever so much in a season. Before. I mean, they've just been beat up all year, so they need as much time to heal as they can get. And so, going to a 9-game SEC conference schedule, man, is just gonna be. That's just one more game against that top-tier talent.
They cry about it all the time, too. I'm like, yeah, of course y'all want another SEC team to play another SEC team, so you don't have to play them.
Right.
You beat us up and knock us out of the playoffs. We'll knock ourselves out,
Exactly.
Well, that's what everybody that's not all of the fans from the other conferences, that's what they're all trying to say now. Like, oh, yeah, the SEC is supposed to be so good. Look at all the 3-loss teams in the SEC. And, it's just like, yeah. Look at it, man.
I get it. I used to say the same thing, but I get it now.
Yeah, you don't get it until you watch your team play all those damn games. That's right.
Yeah. It's not just the players on the teams as well, man. Every venue is so every road game is a serious disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going into fucking Manhattan, Kansas, or
Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, dude. You're going into SEC stadiums. They're all big. They're all loud. all of the fans are rabid fans for their team. You know what I mean? It's not like Texas Tech fans who go into it knowing that at best, they might have one good season every 25 years.
Well,
you know what I mean? That they know that.
Now that Alabama and Ole Miss and Texas A&M all have 3 losses, what SEC teams are going to make the playoff, do you think?
Well, that's my point. I mean, you got to think Georgia now is back. Georgia's got to be loving life. They're all of a sudden as a 2-loss, one of the 2-loss teams. They're all of a sudden way back in the picture, and so is Tennessee.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I guess definitely Georgia, Tennessee, Texas are for sure in.
Yeah.
And then
now here's the thing: if Texas loses the last game of the season to A&M, and now Texas is a 2-loss team. Now you have 3 2-loss teams tied for first. If Tennessee and Georgia win next week,
right?
Do they play each other, or have they already played each other?
Tennessee and Georgia, or who is it?
Yeah, who do they play next week?
They play each other next week. Maybe there were 2 that don't play each other. Outlaw's looking it up right now. God, yeah.
Well, hey, also like they don't.
Tennessee plays UTEP and Georgia plays UMass. No. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Them today.
Sorry. Hold on a second. Tennessee plays Vanderbilt, and Georgia is off. Georgia's got a bye.
So Georgia's done then until the.
So I guess they're done. No. Georgia plays Georgia. I'm sorry. Georgia plays Georgia Tech.
Yep. They played Georgia Tech in an in-state rivalry game.
Right. Yeah, that is right. They do play very well.
Well, at the beginning of the year, everybody said it was going to be Georgia and Texas, and when you start seeing all these teams losing like Georgia lost, everybody's like, well, it ain't going to be Georgia and Texas. Now it's going to be Georgia and Texas.
It might be. I mean, honestly, you kind of got to give it. You know, the big question will be, and I would imagine that if Tennessee and Georgia remain the only 2-loss teams and Texas is the only 1-loss team, but keep in mind, Texas is also going to have to not just beat A&M, they're going to have to win the SEC championship, which kind of bodes against them in this situation.
They could catch 3 losses and be out too.
You know what I'm saying? So
tiebreaker rules. That's why I still got.
If Texas A&M beats Texas, could it end up Georgia and Tennessee in a rematch?
Well, but here's the thing. That's my point. So now with the bottleneck you're going to have at the top of the SEC every year, going to the SEC championship is a detriment.
That's right.
How can it be seen as anything other than that?
They're going to have to do away with it.
But they're never gonna, because the game makes too much money. You know.
Maybe it might go to 16 teams soon. Maybe that'll get rid of it.
Maybe. I mean, that could work. That could work.
They don't just go off a record though. They got a whole bunch of things, and it's kind of like eye test, I guess, where on some of the rules where the people that pick the playoff like teams, it's not just based off a record. So I think there's still a chance. It just goes off of who everyone thinks is the best teams to get in.
Yeah, so, I kind of feel like you're going to get at least the best 4 SEC teams in there, right? I mean, at least the best 3. And then
at this point, they'd have 3 losses, wouldn't they?
I don't know.
Somebody's going to have 3 losses. South Carolina might sneak in there.
I mean, Tennessee plays Vanderbilt. Tennessee plays Vanderbilt on the road next week.
Yeah, what if Tennessee loses?
If it comes down to if it comes down to South Carolina with 3 losses and Bama with 3 losses, which one do you for real put in there as the best team?
Bama.
Yes,
it's got to be
over South Carolina.
Well, but Ole Miss beat South Carolina 27-3, so they would have a tiebreaker on South Carolina. Ole Miss would.
Mm-hmm. But if it come down to South Carolina and Alabama, and they both have 3 losses, they're both 9.
We beat South Carolina, so we have a tiebreaker.
Yes,
tiebreaker.
Yeah, I would put Bama in there for sure. I think Bama gets in, and I mean, dude, I went into this season kind of feeling like if you went 9-3 in the SEC, I really felt like you would get in. I mean, and even in the Big Ten, I mean, I guess in the Big Ten, Oregon's probably definitely getting in, Ohio State's getting in, and in Indiana, they lost today, but they're not going to be in the conference championship. Probably it's going to probably be Ohio State and Oregon in their conference championship. So, do you think maybe that wasn't such a bad thing for Indiana? Because now,
probably not.
I mean, they're not going to
record deal too, huh?
Yeah, but they're not probably getting in on that conference championship, and I think they're going to be in automatically if they win next week. You know, so I don't know.
See, that's why I don't think they just go off a record. Yeah. But I'm glad I'm not the like rankers and the like pickers.
I can't wait to see who they put in there, man. I really can't. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to watch all these games.
Yeah,
man. I can't wait to see.
I can't wait to see the
out.
first expanded playoff, man. This is gonna be really great.
Yeah.
Even though our team ain't gonna be in it, but
we're gonna be playing in the toilet bowl. But we're gonna be happy to watch some playoff games.
Hopefully, we can get it on the lid of the toilet bowl.
Keeping that bowl eligibility, man, that's big though. You get all those extra practices. I mean, that goes a long way, man. Especially with a team like this. So
yeah, well, and dude, you're right, Killer Breeze, dude. Because there's some people that's like they act like that's not important to them. It's very important to me.
It matters.
It's very important to me. It does.
With as easy as it is to get into a bowl game, if you're a program that's not even going to bowl games, like that is a bad place to be, man.
That's bad. Yep.
You know,
that's right.
That's bad.
Yep. Exactly. And I mean, dude, it's like I mean, I've been watching Oklahoma football faithfully since like 99, 98. I first got I've been watching football even in the 90s. We wasn't very good. But I was like 12 years old when we won the Natty. And, of course, I was hooked on Oklahoma football after that, you know. But my whole life, dude, I've been watching. We have at least went to a bowl game, dude. We've at least been bowl eligible. So if this would have been the first time, dude, of my adult life that we're not bowl eligible. So, yeah, it's definitely important to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
And if I sit here and act like it wasn't important, I'd be lying, dude. So yeah, I am glad, dude. And the win against Alabama, it was big because we were bowl eligible and we played Alabama, and that might be why they stormed the field, because we were bowl eligible. It's been a rough year. It's been tough. I've been looking at stuff that's like, dude, how can I feel good about the future of Oklahoma football? Like, what
is I'm born and bred? What is that?
Oh, they might have meant
if I die born.
If I die, there's a saying. It's I'm sooner born, sooner bred, and when I die,
sooner dead.
He said I'm born and bred.
I don't know. He might just be drunker than we are.
I can't.
I think this is what he meant right here. I think he meant to say I'm bi. I think he meant to say I'm bi, born and bred in a homo bed, something like that. What do you think?
Oh wait,
that's outlaw, dude. That's funny.
Right,
you are bi, born and bred.
Right, man. I was gonna say this earlier, but the storm in the field, like I would look at it as a sign of respect. That's the way I would look at it, man. Like. Alabama, people respect Alabama.
Right.
And, like, no one's going to storm the field after, especially OU. Like, OU's not going to storm the field after very many teams.
Right.
And I didn't think we were going to storm the field today, but it's, if I were you, I'd look at it as a respect thing, man. It was that big of a deal.
So it's kind of like when Kansas finally beat us, they stormed the field.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Kansas beating y'all was like Vanderbilt beating us this year.
Right. It was a big fucking deal. Yeah.
Fred Bagley gave a $1 donation. I don't know what for. Maybe he had to go use the restrooms.
I think he wanted to make a comment, but he said it took his money and didn't show his comment. So that's why I was trying to get him.
What you have to do is you have to write your comment. You click on it, then you write your comment, and then you click on it a second time.
Fred, comment anywhere on your phone.
Hang on a second.
He put $1 on it and it didn't pop up.
I put my phone
Make your comment, Fred. We'll highlight it anyway.
Yeah, go ahead and make your comment. I don't know who Steve Lee's directing this towards. I guess you, Killer Breeze. At least he's not a coon ass.
Steve Lee's needs to tread lightly, my friend, because you don't want this coon ass up in your face. I can bring it. I love playing on the dirty end of the field.
Steve Lee's sits down when he pees. You twat waffle. You are twat waffle.
First of all, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's a narc. He's an undercover cop, and I don't trust him. And you know,
he said, "So he's treading on you, man."
I see he's trying to tread.
He's trying to tread.
He said, "Come back when you scare me." Obviously, you are scared. You won't show your face on here, man. Look, man, it's not that bad. It's not that. You don't have to be ashamed to be scared, man. Everybody gets scared. If you're scared, just say, "I'm scared. My name's Steve Lees, and I sit down when I pees."
I think he is definitely a narc, dude. He's probably that one.
He's absolutely a narc. Don't trust him.
I think he's a transgender narc.
Yeah, he's one of them. He's one of them damned old trans sisters. I'm pretty sure.
He's an undercover cop and a bad one.
Yeah.
I thought cops were only dudes. No, I'm kidding.
He's one of them trans sisters.
You got something better, man. Come on here, man. We're not gonna.
That's the best shit I can talk. Yeah, that's the best shit I can talk. Yeah.
You love it.
Come on, Steve. Bring it. First of all, I would love for you to get on the show. We ask you to come on the show every time you start running your little mouth, and you never want to come on the show, which I find hilarious and also predictable, because it's always the people that bark the loudest that never end up wanting to be on the show, and it's so difficult. All you got to do is put your cute little goofy ass email. I've never seen it before, and I guarantee you it's gay. Put it on in the comment section so we can have you on the show, and we'll all have a good time together.
Yeah, right. I won't rough you up too bad.
He's got some kind of email address like steveloveslittleBoys@gmail.com or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something like that. Hot buns for you, hot buns for you is some kind of gay shit like that.
McLovin. You got McLovin ID or some shit? It's like that movie.
He is not as cool as McLovin, I can promise you that.
Yeah, he probably don't get as much ass as McLovin. That's probably what's wrong with him. That's what it is. He's backed up, man. Go peel that tater, man. You'll be all right.
McLovin got some good ass at the end of that show, man.
He did. He did.
He's got game.
Yeah, he did. And dude, he definitely got a lot more ass than Steve Lee's over there. That's for sure.
Steve don't gets ass when he's in jail.
There you go.
Don't blame it on work. Don't blame it on work. You're sitting in your car, parked on somebody's block, staring through binoculars. You can easily put the binoculars down and pick up your phone. You can get on StreamYard through your phone. Don't lie to us.
Are you working at 129, brother? I'll tell you what. I've put in 64 hours of work this week already, bro.
Yeah,
this is when undercover cops work, dude. This is when they work in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And he said he said it a while ago that he said he was in the middle of watching somebody. Well, you're not doing a good job if you're on here. I'd fire your ass.
And what do narcs do? Dude, they watch.
He's wasting our tax dollars, y'all. This is a bad cop right here.
I feel, man.
There's drunk drivers getting away everywhere, brother, and you are letting them all get away, dude, because you're on here watching us, man.
Man, he's a bouncer, man. He's a bouncer at the Blue Oyster Club, man.
Hey, there's
the Blue Oyster Club from Police Academy.
Steve, what governmental agency do you work for?
I know. I wonder if is he like the Tecumseh PD or is he like our Uncle Mark?
I think he's in the. I think he's in the small wee. It's like a division of the DIC or something.
I think he's Officer Doofy. I'm pretty sure he's Officer Doofy.
Look, see, Mike Turner agrees with me. He's a bouncer at the gay bar.
He works at the Rainbow Room.
That makes a lot of sense.
We're just trying to get you on here, man. Come on.
He works at the Rainbow Room.
No cones, Kelly. Backs me up and you up. He's always blaming work.
It's always something as I can't do it because of work.
Right. At 1:31 in the morning.
I don't have time for this. It's always just happens to be something like that.
Right.
Okay.
He said, my job isn't worth being on a podcast. You're on here right now, idiot.
Right.
You're typing. I mean, you're probably typing this fast, probably. And you're in here talking to us without talking to us. So you're on.
You mean it isn't worth your job finding out you're on a podcast? Because you're already on it. You're goofing off already if you're at work.
I'm going to screenshot this shit. I'm going to find out where you work, man. I'm going to screenshot this shit.
And again, it doesn't take much to listen to a podcast and spy on people. You can do that at the same time. It's not that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Bagley's got a $2 donation. I see a 48-team super conference in 3 to 5 years. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I would agree. I tend to agree with that. It seems to be the way it's headed. Although,
we were talking about.
Well, you know what? Yeah, at this point, why wouldn't you? Let those other teams. How many teams are in the SEC now? At 16. So let those other 32 teams figure out what it's like to have to play this kind of competition every week, man. Give us a little. It'll dilute it up for us, and it'll only make it a little more difficult for the other conferences. Or for the other teams that are in that super conference. But yeah, it seems like they're going to go to an NFL model at some point there. Everything else in the game is moving in that direction. So why wouldn't the structure of it,
I wish I could put the YMCA music on here. I swear to God, I'd get up and do that Donald Trump dance. Did you hear
they banned it.
They banned it in the NFL. They're trying to ban that Trump dance in the YMCA in the NFL.
Of course they are. Steve Lee's probably the president of that outfit down there. Hey, Steve Lee's, can you let us know what county you're patrolling, dude? Because I'm about to drink and drive home here in about 20 minutes. I need to know. I need to know what County
says.
Watching a bunch of fools serving blow sandwiches and
once again, if you're doing what you say you're doing, you're not doing your job, man.
See, that's not even, man. That's not even funny, man. What are you saying?
That's that shit. He probably got it from his 5th grade son. He's probably
watching a bunch of fools serving up blow me sandwiches is comic relief.
I got some jokes.
Yeah, he's really funny. So basically what he just said is I am good to drink and drive home here in a minute. He's not patrolling Pottawatomie County. He seems like a Cleveland County officer to me is what the vibes I get from this guy.
Yeah. I also see Walmart security, the ones that have the car that's marked up like a cop car. You know what I'm saying? When you think it's a cop car, and you get on the side of it and you look and you see security.
Dude, he worked for
him.
Yeah, he's the guy. Yes, he's the guy. Like when you go to the casino and you pull up and you forget your Players Club card, you go back to your car, and then you run into one of your friends. They get suspicious. They pull up in that golf cart that has the yellow light on it.
Man, there's this parking lot security guy at Publix. It's a grocery store chain here in Tuscaloosa. My son's apartment building is in their parking lot, and I was sitting outside waiting next to the bushes next to the apartment. I wouldn't really park. He comes over and he tells me, he's like, "You need to move your car, or that tow guy's gonna come over here and tow your car right now." I'm like, he's gonna tow this damn car with me in it. You can't tow someone's car when they're inside of it. I bet that's one of Steve Lee's brethren right there, man. I guarantee you, man. He looked like he'd be one of them mugs to try to tell me he's going to tow my car with me in it.
Right.
He's one of those people that, like, whenever you're trying to hurry up and, like, buy something, this one thing really quick in the store, it's one of his people that are in front of you with a whole basket full of shit, just taking their whole time, checking everything out.
Yeah. He's got the little discount coupons for the tampons and shit.
Yeah, you got to have those. Yeah, and then and then you got the app, some kind of dollar store rainbow app or something. But and the whole time, like, you're just ready to go get home and watch some football, and they're taking your whole time up. Hey, well, sucks at football. They're just wasting our time, just like that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
Steve Lees might finally be patrolling that way.
Everybody's in there waylaying Steve now, man. He's getting hazed.
Oh, man. I really didn't mean to insult the trans sister. I really didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah, dude, he might not be a trans sister, man. That might not be the right pronoun, man. You might need to apologize.
I think I
don't do that no more. That was.
I do apologize. It may not be trans sister.
People can't take jokes no more. I don't like it, man. People well, they are. I feel good about the direction and everything. People are starting to.
Cop. Yeah, he is the parking lot cop. I'm telling you, dude. I think he might be the parking lot cop.
Parking lot cop. Hey, parking lot cop. That rhymes.
Officer Doopy. Yes.
Oh yeah, from Scary Movie.
Yes, he is Officer Doopy.
Wait, does that mean he's actually really smart?
It's so funny because I almost brought that up earlier, Officer Doopy.
Who is Officer Doopy?
On the movie, Scary Movie, where.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Dewey.
When I'm cleaning my room.
I'm cleaning my room.
I'm cleaning my room. Don't bother me when I'm cleaning my room.
But if you remember, he was secretly like super smart and just pretending.
Well, that might be what's up with Steve Lees here. He might actually.
Everybody's on his ass now. Everybody. He even got the organ guy on him. Look, he said Steve Lees rides a bicycle without a seat.
Dude, just wait till the University of Louisiana Monroe.
I'm scrolling through the chat right now, dude. Even the Mississippi State guys on him.
The Mud Dogs.
The Mud Dogs are also on him.
That's the team that the Water Boy played on.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's his cousin. I'll be damned. But yeah, Steve Lees.
He's making this fun. Where'd he go?
He can't even come up with his own shit. Now he's talking about transgender police.
Well, maybe he can police that.
It's 1:38. Y'all about ready to call tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna shut her down, man.
Right.
I appreciate you having us on. It was fun cutting it up with everyone tonight.
Absolutely, and we love everybody, including Steve Lees. Please don't pull me over. Steve Lees, I'm about to drive home drunk. Please don't pull me over.
I don't
Steve.
I don't love Steve. I like kicking him. He's like one of them damn mutts that dumps your damn garbage can over, and you finally catch him and kick the shit out of him.
I'm just gonna say this, Steve. You took an oath. And I just need you to think twice before you pull that flashlight on someone tonight. You got, because the things could get scary really quick. So think twice. Think twice. That flashlight is a weapon. Don't use it if you don't have to.
I heard his golf cart's pretty quick.
And he blows up. He can blow that whistle too.
Really bright.
Hey, when he needs backup, he can blow that whistle.
He might have one of them wheelchairs like on that movie, The Silver Bullet. You ever seen that movie, The Silver Bullet?
No.
With Corey Haim in it? In that damn wheelchair?
Man, I need to rewatch it, but I remember that. Yeah.
Look there. He said, it's not the flashlight you need to worry about. Well, we know that, Steve. And believe me, we're not going to get anywhere around you half naked because we don't want you slipping the schlong.
I hear a band.
Nowhere near us. I know you try to slip it to us, man, but that's not happening. I know you got a little man crush on me.
Does anybody else hear the theme song to Deliverance playing in the background? I mean, it's a little disconcerting.
I think he likes to be here.
We need to get off here. We need to let Steve get back to work.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of drunk yahoos out there right now. We got a bunch of drunk yahoos out here on Main Street. We need to get Steve Lee's out here to pull them over.
Steve. Later.
All right, later.
Thanks for having us on.
Take it easy, guys.
Hello.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Boomer Sooner.
Oh, Tide. And Boomer Sooner.
Well, that was fun. We even got a little grilling session going on there towards the end. We like Steve said, we had a little bit of comic relief at his expense. We appreciate the hell out of you showing up, Steve, and being a good little gesture that you are. And you're always welcome to come on live, brother. All kidding aside, we give you a little hell. But all kidding aside, seriously, no trolling. If you ever want to be on the show, just hit me up on Twitter, AKAX at OCF Productions. If your job hours permit, if you're uncomfortable because of your job or whatever it is, man, we'll try to make it a time where you can be on, or anybody, whether it's William Meeks or Freedom Half Off or Fred Bagley, who all have their badges, by the way. Fred Bagley, Killer Breeze has their badges. Rye Guy 1218, Denizen, Brian Johnson in the house, Tony Yates, all you guys tonight. I appreciate y'all being on here and not beat me up too bad, even though Steve tried to cane me a few times. I guess I'll let Steve. I guess I can forgive Steve this time. All right. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.